Okay, so here's a little video for you of what I'm calling our throwdowns. I think maybe Michael coined that term actually. Now we don't actually suggest people throw them down, certainly not at present. But this is the prototype of the ultra-wideband bridging devices, if you like. So these will be put down at various locations to bridge the indoor positioning distance mesh to allow us to calculate where our tag bands are. So these are sort of additional and separate to the tag bands, and we talked about them before. I mean, we may think of them as possibly some kind of equivalent of those fluorescent lighting devices that when we attended the training event were put down to show that areas were cleared. And we said, I think at the time, that in the doing of that, they could also act as bridges. So that's sort of the beginnings of that conversation. This is a lot bigger than it needs to be. This is more or less an off-the-shelf little board that we're using for testing because it costs a lot of money to manufacture these things. Each one of these has a unique ID. You can see that I've labelled those, and they're just being powered by a little rechargeable wand, if you like, so that I can recharge the batteries before we go off and do testing. So we need to go and test these now. We need to see how this performs, but we want these in place so that we can basically leave them around an indoor area to increase the amount of information that we have and the connection between these devices for the relative positioning for John to use. Now, I've got another one of these devices. You can think of this as on our gateway unit. And what's coming out of this is a sort of demonstration application that we've been provided with. And you can see a little, how would we put that? Little table, I suppose, of those different IDs. And what it's showing is the distance between each of the different nodes that are communicating with each other, which is kind of neat. So what I've been saying to Umar, we're working towards, obviously we want to get out to the velodrome. But this is good. This is good news, but this isn't really telling me the information that I think we need to see. We need to see where things are. So, really need to speak with John about this. But in the immediate term, I'm wondering if we can just sort of lash something up so that I can get out and about and do some testing, which is next on the list now. And the plan is, if we can get out and do some testing, there's a local festival. I want to move around that festival with these devices, doing some visualization on Saturday with Umar. And then with that going well, hopefully we can then look at getting into the velodrome. So a little bit of a progress update. And next I need to, after I've done some visualization, I also need to turn on some tags. Just following on from the previous video there. So now what I've done is I've just taken one of our modified tags that has the same technology, ultra-wideband technology, in it for indoor positioning, and you can see here that that's now showing the distance for this tag, which, what does that say? That's 8FA4. And if I wave this tag around, if I bring it nearer to the central gateway tag, you see that numbers are going down, and now it's getting bigger, and that's all being done completely through relative estimation with ultra-wideband. There's no satellite involvement here. And this is what we're going to link into our GNSS located anchors, if you like, so that John can work his magic with his particle filters, Kalman filters, and link that relative positional information with the absolute anchor location. So that is looking really rather good.